In my last teacher training course, a few teachers brought up a similar challenge, a similar dilemma, a phenomena that bothers them and most of us teachers. So I'd like to address it in a very short, I'll try to make it short, reply that might serve other teachers who are facing the same phenomena. And I would just guess from many years of experience as a Suzuki teacher that most of us, in most studios, you'll have at least one parent who addresses this dilemma or presents this dilemma. So if I want to summarize or to put it maybe in one title, it'll be the disruptive parent or the non-interested parent. Now, of course, these are just sort of behavior. I don't think there's any parent who enrolls in a Suzuki program that is not interested. I mean, maybe the area, level, scope of interest will differ from one parent to the other, but parents are coming to our studios because they are interested. They are interested in something which has to do with the way that we teach. We won't go into this now, but I'll just want to say that nevertheless, even though they are interested and they pay sometimes quite a lot of money, they still present this type of behavior, some of them, that we will meet the parents who are almost like not interested. So while the lesson is in progress, they will check their phones, they will do lots of other things, they will read emails, they will do anything but being present in the lesson. The whole subject of being present is a huge one in our society, and if you want to hear more of it, I encourage you to maybe watch YouTube. In my YouTube channel, I do remember I did a link or a very short video clip about being present. So feel free to log into Zahara Rotem YouTube page, YouTube channel, and see if this answers your area of interest about being present. Let's go back to the question which I wanted to answer. So we will have the parent who is completely not interested or will behave as if not interested by watching, by looking at their phone or iPad. And on the other side, we will have the parent who is overly involved. That will be the parent who will sometimes show us in body language or in words what to do, will help us, in inverted comma, of course, to train the child, to teach the child, to quiet the child, to tame the child, really will nominate him or herself to be our assistant in a very clumsy way that we didn't actually ask for. Now, if we look at these two opposites, they do present the same actually problem, because both of them, the disruptive parent and the non-interested parent, the non-present parent, are actually not present. Even the one which is overly present is not present because it's not present to the need of the lesson and the need of the teaching and mostly the need of the child. So there's a whole gamut of feelings that are being initiated in a lesson like this. There's what it makes the teacher feel, how the teacher feels when she has a parent like this in the studio, in the lesson. This is one. The other one is what the child feels, and the third one is what the parent feels. And the three of them are important. And in a way, they need to be addressed separately, parallelly, and at the end, they will work as the center of the Suzuki triangle. To be very specific now about this question, I will just say this. The parent who is not interested, or the parent who is too busy to be involved in a lesson or too busy to be present, and demonstrate behavior of checking the phone the whole time, this can be quite simple. What I have done from the beginning of this school year, from the beginning of 2018, I have asked parents and all people who come to the studio to not use phones. So the studio has been declared as a non-screen place. People are not checking screens, not using screens, not checking their phones. Yes, they can bring their phone. They can put it on a flight mode, because many parents need to use, and I encourage them to use it as a recorder, and sometimes as a metronome. So quite simple, put your phone on a flight mode before entering the studio if you are going to use a phone, and there's no checking email and so on. How I did it, I will talk in another. I have talked and I will talk in another opportunity, but we will actually leave it now. So this is quite clear. This is studio policy, and it doesn't actually matter if parents like it or not. Teacher needs to explain that this is for the good of the teaching, for the good of the child. Parent might not actually like if the teacher says it's also for the good of the parent. So that's a policy, and if you haven't done it by now, you can always say that I have read quite a few articles, quite many articles recently, and I have come with an upgraded idea of how we can make the atmosphere, the environment in the studio more suitable for the learning of a child. And I'm not saying that the parent will immediately change their behavior and they will become very active, involved at the amount that you want them to be involved. It'll take time. So don't worry if in the meantime you see some grumpy faces of parents until they get used to it. But you can help them. You can ask, you can look every now and then to the parent and with love and smile, acknowledging their presence. You can ask the parent questions, not intimidating questions, but questions to their liking, to their taste, while the lesson is on. It's quite easy for us Suzuki teachers to make parents welcome in the lesson. And again, addressing each parent in the way that you feel the parent can be present in the lesson. With the parent who is overactive or the one that disrupts, I usually use a different language. So if you have a parent that actually jumps in and tells the child what to do or tells you what to do, words are the last thing that is needed in the lesson, because already you have too many words. So I'm using body language, and if the parent is jumping towards the child, at my case it's piano because my instrument is piano, I have a gesture of my hand. I open my hand and I lower my hand, and with a smile, trying to put as much love as I can in the smile, with a loving smile behind the back of the child, so the child actually doesn't have to see it, but I'm not trying to hide it. If the child sees it, it's okay. I'm signaling to the parent that not now, or maybe later, or so I don't push away. It's not a signature, it's not a gesture of pushing away the parent. Actually, it's including the parent, but changing the body language. Sometimes this gesture will be even an invitation, because it will be something which shows in a hand movement, it shows, let's wait and see what comes from the child. Or sometimes I will just put my fingers over my lips, like in a secretive thing, to say and show, let's wait. wait and see. I've been asked to talk more about it, and I will prepare quite shortly a video link about it, because some things I'm just realizing that I need to show in gestures. But because I promised this teacher that I will put it on the social media, I wanted to say something also about the hurting feeling of a teacher. It's completely natural that the teacher is being offended by a behavior of a teacher, of a parent that doesn't actually show respect, or maybe that's how the teacher actually interprets. I don't think it necessarily means that the parent doesn't feel respect towards the teacher, but definitely does not demonstrate the respect. So they are quite different things. Sometimes parents think that by offering advice or ways of dealing with the child, they help a teacher, not realizing that actually they hurt the teacher's feeling. So it's quite complicated, and we will talk more in our coming webinars for parents and or for teachers about this thing, because always these topics are coming up. I just want to remind this teacher these teachers that ask these questions, and other teachers who face the same problem. This is so normal and so common. It's not something personal. It's an area that we all come across and invite as a part of our work as Suzuki teachers. So we know that in life nothing is black and white. It doesn't mean that a parent is doing something wrong or the teacher is doing something wrong. It is a full invitation for more investigation and for more deepening of this specific relationship of the teacher, the parent, and the child. More to come.